Dozens of Hamas hostages are now free. 24 hostages were released today as part of a deal with Israel. In return, Israel is releasing dozens of Palestinian prisoners. There will be a series of releases over the next 4 days while there's a temporary ceasefire in Gaza. The released hostages are now getting medical treatment. We don't know their conditions.
We're not speaking publicly about their medical situation. This is a sensitive and ongoing situation. But let's remember, these people, these women and these children were brutally abducted on October 7th by the terrorists who burned, beheaded, mutilated, tortured, and raped these people's relatives and neighbors in those kibbutzim in southern Israel. And since then, they have been held in the dark and their families have been kept in the dark. Though we're not given any access to the Red Cross, we had no information about their condition, no information about who was alive and who might be dead.
A total of 50 hostages, that's 50 hostages, will be released during the pause. Israel said the battle will continue after that. Let's go ahead and check in now with our political editor, Mark Maxwell, who's actually getting reaction from local leaders. Mark.
Brent, good evening. We're hearing from some local officials who continue their calls for a permanent ceasefire and others who want to see this pause and hostage release start that long road toward a two-state solution. But tonight, local faith leaders are expressing relief and hope that hostages held in danger can be safely set free. President Biden addressed the nation Friday morning, saying American diplomacy helped secure the release of 24 hostages, including 13 Israelis. In return, Israel freed 39 Palestinians from prison.
We expect more hostages to be released tomorrow, and more the day after, and more the day after that.
In Creve Coeur, a Jewish congregation has been praying for the release of all 240 hostages held in Gaza.
Everyone that's been being released right now are women and children, and these are people who had nothing to do, they're not IDF soldiers, they had nothing to do with war at all.
Rabbi Jeffrey Abraham says the hostage release proves a point.
It means that Israel's ground offensive is working.
Congresswoman Cori Bush first called for a ceasefire on the day Hamas attacked.
To build a world where peace is valued over war, where we reconcile conflicts through peaceful negotiation, where we choose to take the path of love and humanity over death and destruction.
Bush said this release proves the effectiveness of de-escalation and diplomacy, not military force, and, quote, we must continue to vigorously push for a permanent ceasefire that ends this violence.
We have to end this cycle of violence in the Middle East. We need to renew our resolve to pursue this two-state solution where Israelis and Palestinians can one day live side by side in a two-state solution.
In order for Gaza to actually be ruled in a just and rightful way for the Palestinian people, there can't be a terrorist organization that's ruling them, which is what we've been dealing with since 2007. And so what Israel's trying to do is get the terrorists out, so then hopefully, in the next few years, there could be a Palestinian state.
Senators Durbin and Duckworth echoed President Biden's calls for a two-state solution. Meanwhile, President Biden said it's, quote, worthwhile to consider putting conditions on military aid to Israel, but said if we started putting limits on the Israeli military at the start, he didn't think we could have achieved the result of those releases today.
Mark Maxwell reporting tonight. For the very latest on the war, text the word Israel to 314-425-5355.